Welcome on board. We've just left Greenwich on the city cruise, and we're heading towards central London. Hoping to take a few pictures on the way. It's a beautiful morning.
In a bit of a wave, pass under some rocks and rocks. Keep an eye out for the wildlife. I know the river looks not very clean, but it is. It's mud. It's a very muddy river, and because it's always moving, flowing far too deep to make it up this river. You got Canary Wharf there, and you've got the red, the office buildings, HSBC, Barclays, JP Morgan, and many more finance companies. They have their European headquarters located up there. The area called Canary Wharf, and that's because there was once a warehouse named Canary Wharf. Ships arrived there from the Canary Islands, and from there we got our tropical fruit delivered by a boat from the Canaries into London.
Apparently we've got to keep our eyes out for 3,000 harbour seals which are found in this part of the Thames. So hopefully we'll see one today, you never know. So we make progress along the Thames, heading inland, heading westward, and there you are, the city of London appears before us. Sound of sirens in the distance. Beautiful day. Still haven't seen any of these seals that are reputed to be here. Over 3,000 according to the skipper, or at least the guy giving the commentary. So most of these now residential. One thing I didn't know, apparently you're not allowed to advertise along the waterway. So it's an advertisement free zone, which is quite refreshing in a way. So right, we've got a big meander that we are making our way around, and I'll take a few more pictures.
On a tidal terms. A little white building. It ain't the original, but there's been a pub here since around the year 1520, named the Prospect of Whitby. And while we're close, you can see there's a hangman's noose. The last remaining gallows exists here, hanging from a beam sticking out the beach on your right hand side. That's a lovely old pub, the Prospect of Whitby. Used to have a sign outside as well with the name on. For whatever reason they've taken it off. All these buildings here to your right, Metropolitan Wharf, New Crane Wharf, old warehouses. And these cranes have not been used for many years, but they were used to dip into boats to take cargo out. Of course, you'd have to wait for high tide. When it was deep enough, you could put a boat on the wall, quickly unload it, and then take the boat away before the tide dropped, and you were stranded there on the beach. So multi-million apartments. They pass up around the point soon, you'll see Tower Bridge, and just on the other side of the bridge, our first stop, Tower Hill.
An iconic London site here. Look at it from the east side this time. I suppose most people look at it from the west side. Let me just get in a position here to make a photograph. Got the Shard there towering up behind it. The post office tower, we can see under the higher span of Tower Bridge. So here we come in, we're kind of slowing down towards our first stop, and we really are getting nearer now to the iconic central London skyline. Don't know how much of these riverside properties will be worth, but positionally I'd imagine they are worth quite a lot of money. Location, 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 as they say. With the sun glinting off the Gherkin. Oh, HMS Belfast. Stayed on there.
Open any time of day, any day of the year. Apart from, of course, during the marathon, because that marathon, like 26 miles they went, that's a little bit more. Over the bridge they go, over the bridge, part of the route, go.
And now on the north bank of the Thames, we've got the Tower of London.
Inside the City of London, here on the right, or skyscrapers, city, of course. The Tower of London. And for a long time, this was the tallest structure for many miles around. Of course, not anymore. That's the Tower of here ahead of us. We're going to make a stop. We're due away at 11:15, so at 11:15 this one is due away from the pier. We'll head up to Westminster. For Big Ben, the London Eye, please hold tight until we come to a full stop. It might be a bump. For your safety, hold fast. If you go down the stairs, hold on to the handrail. But I'll definitely wait until this boat comes to a full stop. But I'll get a few ropes out. And even when we're tied up alongside, if we have high-speed boats passing, they can still knock us on the pier, okay, so be careful at all times. Mostly offices, workspace. In the middle you got the 5-star Shangri-La Hotel, and there's a viewing platform. The price, it's about the same as the London Eye, about £35 per person. If you go to your right, this building also has a public viewing floor, but that is free to go to. You can see the people up there right now. See the building around and the crane on top? That's London Sky Garden. And that is free for you all to go to. From 9 to 5 it's open. Book yourselves in. It does get busy on these, well, on these rare sunny days. So go up there today, tomorrow, for free. That was Tower Bridge behind you. Say behind you folks, Tower Bridge. Often called London Bridge. That is in front of you. This here is London Bridge. There has been a crossing here for 2,000 years. The first was built by the Romans. They came up this sea in AD 43. And a few years later, they built a bridge. Pretty much here. This is the 5th London Bridge. You'll see the name carved out the stone itself, up on your left and on the right. There have been many London bridges, been here for a long time, 2 millennia. The last London Bridge, taken down about 50 years ago, well, that one was sinking. The foundations had given way. That was completely dismantled, and it was then rebuilt in another country. Does anyone know where it went? Yeah, the States. Correct, United States, on this part of the journey. Behind it you'll find the Borough Market. That's London's oldest market. It's been going now for almost 1,000 years, the Borough Market. And today it's well known, most famous for the food that is sold there. That's another old bungalow, frequented by Shakespeare and many other of our country's finest, including Dickens, Dr. Johnson, Samuel Pepys, Christopher Wren, me, Captain Ben. So we go there most evenings for the research for these commentaries. That's where we spend our evenings. For your benefit, of course, we conduct a research in these local pubs along the river. We're there tonight, you'll have to join us. After work, about our fates. And on your left, look, go and watch a play inside the Globe Theatre. Built about 30 years ago. When you watch a performance inside this building, you are going back in time, as there is no electricity for speakers, stage lights. And at the moment they are performing Romeo and Juliet until, until the 12th. So another 5 days, every day they are performing his most famous of all plays, Romeo and Juliet. And so it's much cheaper than the West End of London to watch a show here. You can buy a ticket for only £10. You go to the Anchor Tavern, you don't get much change out of a £10 note for a pint of beer. So there you get a full-on show. Here is London's newest river crossing, the Millennium Footbridge. You may recognise it from a Harry Potter movie. And yes, that is an international phenomenon. If you are on a boat and you wave to someone, most of them they do wave back, especially when the sun is out. So people are very happy when the sun is out. London's newest river. Up to your right, St Paul's Cathedral. You'll see the dome, and in a moment you'll get a little gap, you'll see the pillars just below. Now, a lovely view you get from the river. You don't really see it when you're walking around in London. You see them below the other buildings. If you go to the top of St Paul's, you get a lovely view all over the city, and indeed for many miles around. There are no tall buildings surrounding it. You can see the people up there, the Golden Gallery that is called, the Golden Gallery. It's not easy to get to, there's no lift, you have to climb 528 steps to make it to the top of St Paul's. Now, to inspire the students that went to this school, they put 4 of the country's greatest and say most cleverest between the windows. You see the arches? From the left, look at these, you'll see them up there. From the left, you see that is Milton, Bacon, Shakespeare and Beckham. One all the way to the right, so David Beckham, a great inspiration for all the young lads that were talking. I'm only joking, just a joke. So Beckham never went to school, that is Isaac Newton, that last person on the end. And that's opposite today for JP, the American bank, the offices in the city of London. So at the right, they narrowed the river, giving us much higher tides than we ever had before. You'll see there's a measuring stick, a tidal gauge here to your right. You can see the average tide, it reaches about 6-7 metres. And some days it can go up to 8. If they think it's going to go above 8, they literally close the gate so no more water from the sea comes into London. Before that gate was built, there was no stopping London from flooding. We can only warn people of the flood. And that's what these lions' heads are all about. The mouths of these lions, well, they line up with street level, road level. And they came with these little sayings, the Victorians, little poems. If the lions start to drink, then London will start to sink. And when the heads are entirely ducked, that's when London is it's moving on here to your right, this black and white boat into the building. So only royalty can live along the river. That's why you'll find most of our palaces built along this river. Most of them, not all of them, but most are built along the Thames. And so this road was built by Sir Joseph Bazalgette, one of our unsung heroes who cleaned up London by cleaning up the river. London's river was, well, an open sewer, a cesspit until we built a sewer system taking away all of London's sewage out of the city. In fact, if you look up to your right, there's a gap, and the traffic lights are green. All out the top, you can see it goes up. That road running parallel with this river, it's named Strand, and that's Old English, it means beach, as in you strand on the beach. That's the Strand, the road to Strand. That's why it's called the Strand, because that's how far the river went out. Much wider than it used to be, well, many years ago. Older than London itself, here to your right is Cleopatra's Needle. It was made in what is now Cairo, Egypt, around 3,500 years ago. It's one of a pair. The other now is in America. It's in Central Park, New York. They made a mistake with ours with the Sphinx. Does anyone know what is wrong with them? Now I can reach your lips. They're around the wrong way. Yes, they should be guarding, looking out, not admiring, staring towards it. The West End of London, here on the right, behind the train station. West End. Lots of entertainment, of course, in the West End, but also here to your left. Synonymous with arts and entertainment too is London's South Bank. We have the Royal Festival Hall just before the bridge, known for its marvellous acoustic qualities, and it's the last remaining building from the Great Festival of Britain in 1951. Charing Cross, the bridge here. Charing, that's Old English for bend, as we're now travelling around a big bend. The bend in the river, Charing Cross. We're travelling west for our journey. Now we're in the city of Westminster, the city of royalty and politics. And to your left, of course, the very famous, very iconic London Eye. Tower, known around the world as Big Ben. Forever and a day, it's been called Big Ben. When it was built in 1858, it was named the Great Clock at Westminster. Big Ben is simply the bell that chimes, and the best time to hear it is coming up, midday, 12 o'clock, 12 times. In 5 minutes, you'll hear these other 4 smaller bells. They play a little melody. There's a poem, I can never remember it, so I won't try, but it does go with the melody, the little tune that will be played in 5 minutes and just before the hour. A Big Ben, which is not the official name, of course, it is the Great Bell. It was made in the East End of London at the Whitechapel Bell Foundry, which only in recent years has finally closed down, but that was founded in 1570. A very old foundry making big bells. They also made the Liberty Bell, which is in Philadelphia, America. So Big Ben, you can't see it. It's just above the clock face, up there at the top of the tower. A lovely picture, look, get a snap of Westminster Abbey off in the distance. A nice little picture from the river here, lined you up, perfect sight for the clock and the Abbey. Now he's going up here, but well, you've got beers as well.
So just got off the ferry, was it City Clipper or something, whatever it was called, City Rider, and fabulous day on the water. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you on the next one.